I am here to be an amazing beacon of hope and potentiality for what is actually possible for you when you have the right systems, structures, support, scalability, growth, information, energies, life force, frequencies, all in place to be that permission slip for you to take things to a whole nother level. Cosmic Money, the podcast, the strategy and energetics of seven-figure business. Hello, gorgeous beings, and welcome to today's podcast. I'm Skye Hanley, your host, and today we're actually talking about one of my favorite subjects, jokingly, which is in fact me. Why it is that I get to be the amazing and honored human that I am to be sitting here in front of you right now, bringing you this most amazing Cosmic Money podcast. What it is that I've lived through that's landed me in this amazing place, and, why it is that experience as well as my expertise that is going to be able to help and guide you through this amazing journey that we basically have together. Now, I am a galactic 5D $1 million business coach and a high ticket offers mentor. So I work within the coaching industry. I am a coach, a business mentor for coaches. The coach in me helps you find the answers that are already inside of you, and the business mentor in me tells you what the fuck to do. I actually run 3 businesses right now. I have an academy, an agency, as well as a luxury handbag brand, which is amazing. So I have Empire Coaching VA Agency, Empire Business Academy, which is all of our amazing next level programs for coaching businesses. And Velour Luxe designer luxury handbags. So I've been in and around business for a long time, like many, many years. In fact, I was running multi-million-dollar businesses from the time that I was about 2021, something like that. So you do the maths. I'm a little bit older than that now, but I have a wide variety of experience when it comes to running, awesome, amazing, next level businesses. I'm also what's known as a multimodality. I was thinking multi-million dollars for a second there. Multimodality health professional. And what that basically means is that if there is a qualification within, health, inside, health, well-being, mindset, fitness, nutrition, like you name it, I probably have it. I'm an exercise specialist, strength and conditioning coach, sports trainer with qualifications in sports medicine. I'm a holistic I've got to think about this. Holistic and clinical nutritionist. I've got studies in behavioral science, psychoneuroimmunology, counseling, neurolinguistic programming, hypnotherapy, metaphysical arts, mediumship, psychic, trance channeling. I have to think about it. Honestly, there is literally right now a list of over 25 different things next to me. It took 3 of us, 3 amazing humans in my life to sit down and actually put together, like we had to piece it together, all the different things that I've actually done in my lifetime. You wouldn't believe it. If you'd like the list, you can just ask me for it. I have studied business management, business operations, training and assessing, all of these amazing things. And so over the years, you can tell that obviously I am obsessed with study, with knowledge, but not only that, but putting that knowledge into, practical frameworks, having the information that rolls around in my head to be able to support others predominantly, for me, it is coaches. Here in this podcast, it's simply business owners. If you have any kind of business, then you're in the right place, my friend. There is definitely going to be something here for everyone. And I'll add one more thing. I'm actually currently, because I'm super excited about this, I'm actually currently even studying paramedical science. And literally, I'm so lucky that I've been able to build my existence and my life up to a particular point where I get to do that now just for fun, where I can pick something, which is emergency medicine, and be like, yeah, I'm just going to learn that because I want to. And I have the amazing, time freedom, even while running 3 amazing businesses and having a team of approximately, 10 or more people. That's not even including the VA agency, working with. So I am here to be an amazing beacon of, hope and potentiality for what is actually possible for you when you have the right systems, structures, support, scalability, growth, information, energies, life force, frequencies, all in place, to be that permission slip for you to take things to a whole nother level. Now, what I will say about all of that is, in fact, that is all the wanky stuff. I am actually a real human having a real fucking human journey as well. And I want to share some of that with you now. I've spent my life obsessed with the strategy and energetics of seven-figure business. I've literally traveled the world trying to crack the code. And what I found is that when you couple the pursuit of making massive amounts of money with the strategy and science of success, plus having a desire for significant impact and contribution, magic happens. That's why I created a free 21-day Next Level Vortex Money Mission Magic. Hell yes to that. This 21-day Quantum Business Challenge is here to shift you into new timelines and realities. 21 days to quantum shift your impact, business, and your bank account. These carefully crafted and channeled tools are the exact things I've used to create a life beyond my wildest dreams, and I'm not done yet. If you're ready for incredible transformation now in all areas of your life, more money and financial freedom, freedom of time, freedom of lifestyle, freedom of choice, better, more connected relationships, greater levels of health, and simply calling in more magic into every single day, then these 21 days are going to blow your mind. 21 days of powerful universal, behavioral, and strategic tools to quantum shift your internal state so that you start to see massive changes in your external reality, bringing the metaphysical into the physical. Join the challenge now and get ready for the most powerful 21-day expansion to quantum shift your impact, business, bank account, and your life. Cosmic Money, the podcast, the strategy and energetics of seven-figure business. So I don't know if you've seen the documentary. It's called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. That was me many years ago, probably about, 15 years ago now. I was literally fat, sick, and nearly dead. I was totally out of love with my existence. I was unhealthy. I was a shift worker. Breakfast for me was a V and a cigarette at about 4:00 in the afternoon. So you can imagine the kind of, air quotes, health-filled person that I was back then. And during that time, I ended up having this year of, what I could only really describe it as depression. And I'd never really had depression before. And, to be honest with you, I'm not sure I've ever, had it since. But I had this really kind of dark year. This was about when I was 24. Previous to that, we had had a lot of family members die. To this very day, let me tell you, I have been to more funerals almost tenfold than I have been weddings in my lifetime. So there was a lot of sadness and grief in and around my family at that time. I was then harassed in the workplace, and I ended up losing my job because it was easier to get rid of me than it was to get rid of and I use this term lightly, gentlemen, that actually had harassed me. I had packed on a bunch of weight because I was unhealthy. So I was 30 kilos, overweight than say I am, right now. And also I had hemorrhaged quite a lot of friends too, because they were all sort of partying and drug taking and, and existence wasn't really going anywhere for them. And so, I needed to step myself away from all of that. And so I ended up moving back in with my mom. Now, my mom is probably listening to this and she knows that she is one of the best humans I know and I love her dearly, yet we are both divas and there is no way that we should really live together in the one house. And so it was a bit of a tumultuous, time with all of that had gone on and then moving back in and, really having almost an identity crisis. And so I had this dark year and now I don't remember exactly what happened or why I ended up at this particular event, but somewhere towards the end of that year, after this terrible time that I'd been having, I went to a business, like a large business event. I'd been given a ticket, probably by divine intervention, to be honest with you. And so I went to this event and I don't really remember much from it, except for this saying that I heard on the third day. And the saying was that our lives will only expand in proportion to how much courage we are willing to have. My life would only expand in proportion to how much courage, how much willingness, how many chances I'd take, how many edges I would push through. My life would only expand in proportion to how many of those I was willing to take. And I thought, oh my goodness, because I knew that I'd been playing small, totally recoiled in the unhappiness of my existence, and not really knowing how to, step out of that. And I thought, okay, if I want to expand, if I want greater levels of happiness, if I want more amazing things to happen to me, then I need to put myself out there. Then I need to step up. Then I need to have courage. And so I started changing one small thing at a time until all of the small things made for a huge result. The first thing that I remember doing, to be honest with you, is I went and I started to study because I thought about when am I my most happiest? And as you can tell by all of my qualifications, I am my most happiest when I'm learning and growing in some kind of amazing way. So I went to learn commercial cookery and become a chef. Yes, we'll add that one in there as well, because I literally wanted to be able to cook myself, delicious, healthy food for the rest of my life. And so I thought, well, what better way to be able to do that so that I can start changing my life, getting healthier and happier and, better for it by going and learning how to actually do this. The second thing I did was, to be honest with you, I gave up vegan cigarettes. And as a part of that, I actually took up soccer because I thought, well, I want to be able to do something on the weekend. I want to be active. Nobody wants to be a smoker running around on a soccer field. And if you know me today, you know that I still, in fact, play soccer every single week. It is a non-negotiable in my life. The next thing that I did was I started volunteering because I thought I want to be of service and I wanted to give back, and I wanted to give back more. And so I started volunteering with St. John's Ambulance because I'm a bit of a twisted fuck. I love a good injury. And I'm also probably somebody, that is good to have around in an emergency because I can, in fact, keep my cool and keep my intelligence in place to be able to help support. And bless the universe for sending many scenarios in my lifetime that way. And so I really appreciated being able to go and volunteer my time, meet new people, put myself out there, grow and expand and be courageous. And so after I did all these things, I started to lose weight and become happier and healthier and find new friends and have things to do on the weekend. And I thought, oh my goodness, life was taking off. And so I thought, how could I take it one step further? And I thought, well, some of the most amazing humans that I know are the trainers and stuff like that I was meeting at the gym. So I thought, all right, well, maybe I can go and learn fitness and become a personal trainer and that kind of thing. So, of course, I went on my usual study journey. And I did all of those fitness qualifications, as I mentioned before, strength and conditioning, sports trainer, sports medicine, and I used to work out on big gym floors. And let me tell you, it's quite interesting. Let's throw in there that I have also been a bouncer. Please don't hold that against me. And what was funny was I transitioned from being a bouncer, literally I'm talking working in, some of the most violent venues across Sydney. I was a violent venues guard to help bring them off the violent venues list. And when I was studying fitness and personal training and exercise specialties and all of those amazing things, I was still actually a bouncer. And when I transitioned to work within the fitness industry, I started working in big gyms. And to be honest with you, the transition was actually quite seamless because there was still loud music playing, much like the nightclubs, as well as the fact that really I was just out on the weights floor now, wrangling the big dudes, getting them to pick up their weights and put them away and things like that, which is, again, very much what, my security days were kind of like as well. And so I was living, my then best life, super excited, full of expansion, full of courage, full of transformation, 30 kilos gone, happiness back on track, health, friendships, working in a beautiful, amazing, expansive industry. And I thought, well, what else can I do now? What's my next edge? And I thought I can control the things I can control and not sweat the things I can't. So I thought, well, what can I control? I can control what I put in my mouth and I can control my exercise output. So I thought, why not do bodybuilding? And so I started training for bodybuilding competitions. And I was in about 8 weeks out from competition lead up. I got myself amazing coaches, some of the best in the industry. And they came to me one day and they said to me, Skye, you're either lying about what it is that you're doing or something's really wrong. And I was like, wow, that's a lot, And I know I'm not lying about what I'm doing. I'm eating all the right things. I'm doing all the exercise, all this different stuff, right? Like control the things I can control. Don't sweat the things I can't. And I knew that I was doing that. And they said, well, then something's wrong because what it is that you're doing is not currently equaling the results that you're getting. And so I thought, all right, well, better take myself off to the doctors. And so I took myself to the doctors and, and we thought maybe there's something wrong with, my hormones, my hormone signaling systems and stuff like that. And I had all this, blood work done. And it turned out, yes, indeed, I had some hormone deficiencies and things like that going on. And they thought, well, we better send you for an MRI just to make you sure, again, all those signaling systems are firing off. So I went to this MRI and I remember asking the technician, how long is the MRI going to take? And they said, it shouldn't be long at all. It's maybe going to be, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something along those lines. And it ended up taking over 50 minutes I was in there for. And I thought, well, laying there in the MRI, I thought, well, this isn't great, is it? What is it that they're finding? And as I walked out, I remember the faces of the technicians looking at me as I walked out, and they were sort of giving me this look like, hang in there, trooper, like, you'll be okay, like, you've got this kind of looks. And I thought, well, again, that's not great. And so as soon as I possibly could, as soon as the results were in, I took myself off to the doctor, and the doctor said, Skye, we've got good news and we've got bad news. Gorgeous being. It is truly my honor to have you here joining me on this co-created adventure through the strategy and energetics of seven-figure business. However it is that you landed here, whether we know each other personally or professionally, whether a friend shared this podcast with you as they thought you might get something out of it, or whether you stumbled across me by sheer accident or divine intervention, I want to thank you for being here, and I want to ask you a little favor. It is my joy to do what it is that I do every single day. And so if you have received anything here, a piece of magic, a strategy, a mindset shift, something that has transformed you in some way, I ask that you share this podcast with others so that together we can transform the world for the better. One business, one human, one frequency, and one podcast at a time. Cosmic Money, the podcast. The strategy and energetics of seven-figure business. The good news is that your hormone signaling systems are actually okay. The bad news is that you've got MS. Now, if you don't know what MS is, don't go and Google it. That's a black hole of depression right there. The MS is literally multiple sclerosis. It is a disabling and degenerative disease of the central nervous system. That means brain, optic nerves, and spine. And literally, it's when your immune system attacks your brain and your spinal cord as if it's a foreign object, and it can literally leave scarring within your spine, within your brain. And wherever it leaves that scarring, quite literally, you could wake up one day with an eye that never works again. You could wake up one day with legs that never work again. You could wake up one day pissing on yourself or not even remembering your own name. That is the severity of MS. And I was 29 at the time. And to be told you have a disabling, degenerative disease was, shocking. Like, I was absolutely floored. And at the time, I really didn't know how to process that because it was all so new to me, trying to find out all of this information. I remember going to a neurologist, and he literally was the person who said to me, start setting yourself up for a very different future, because in the next 10 years, you are probably going to be in a wheelchair and peeing all over yourself. And I remember hearing that at 29, and, you can imagine, right? And I thought, you universe, you. I have just spent all of my time and energy and effort. I have, worked so hard over the last 5 years to get my life on track, to get my happiness, to get my health back, to get all of these most amazing things. And, and you send me this? Like, what the you universe? And it took me maybe a few months, my family and I, trying to figure it all out, going to doctor's appointments, learning, understanding, going down different avenues, finding amazing MS whisperers, who I truly believe knew better than the neurologist did. And it took me about that amount of time to actually work something out, that I was still the exact same badass, amazing, next level human being that I was before I got diagnosed with MS. And I still actually got to live my life by the exact same, morals and values and ethos as I did before. Control the things you can control and don't sweat the things you can't. That I can't control all of the pieces around MS. What I can control is, in fact, my mindset, my output, the way that I look after myself, what I put in my mouth, the exercise that I do, the way in which I choose to reduce stress. the environments that I put myself in that are uplifting and have me feeling, in control, not like a victim of circumstance or something like that. Control the things that I can control, and the rest is in the hands of the universe. And what I also realized was true was the exact same saying that transformed my life, that my life would only expand, would only get better, more amazing, more next level, more impactful in proportion to how much courage I am willing to have. And so from that day on, I continued to pick courage every single day, in every single circumstance, in every way possible that I simply could pick it. And what I can say to you now is, here I am, this most amazing next level human being who, is not wheelchair bound, who has not, landed in a place of disability and degeneration and, victim mentality and all of these different things, that actually I am healthier today than I have ever been, that I am in more control, that I have more courage, that I simply believe not my reality. Thank you for the diagnosis, but I do not accept the prognosis. And I am medication free, and I am free as a human being. I am free as a soul. I am free to expand. I am free to grow, and I am free to choose courage. So yeah, okay, I am somebody who has a whole bunch of wanky qualifications, that is obsessed with learning and bringing you those most amazing next level things. But more so than that, I am somebody who has had to journey quite a lot, within this lifetime that I have already had. And so when I bring, this amazing Cosmic Money podcast to you, it is coming from a place of, yes, strategically being able to place everything in my existence and my life, to take control, to believe that life is happening for me and not to me. Also then the behavioral portions of everything that Cosmic Money is about, that, we do have choice, that it is about breaking through, patterns, and that on the other side of your own edges, let me tell you, magic happens. And so you need to step out of those places of fear. And on top of that, I believe in the universe above all else, right? That, we have soul contracts. And part of my soul contract was, yes, absolutely, to have received that diagnosis, but not the prognosis, and to be here for other amazing next level humans. Whatever you are journeying right now, let me tell you, you have journeyed big things before, and you absolutely can traverse this. I promise you that. And so everything that Cosmic Money is about is bringing you the most amazing next level humans, strategically, behaviorally, and universally, to hold you to a higher standard, to put you, in your passion and your life force energy, and to be the permission slip for you to persevere, for you to expand, for you to pick courage every single day, because your life will only expand in proportion to how much courage you are willing to have. I love you, and I continue to pick courage every single day, for you, for me, for us.